Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Uh, Yesterday it rained, and remember yesterday it was kind of humid, and well, later on it rained, and I think this morning it rained also. It stopped raining, but it's overcast today, and I think the temperature is sort of comfortable. There's slight humidity in the air, but not too bad. Not too bad. Um, you definitely can feel the moistness in the air. Okay, because we're in September, so we should start seeing temperatures go down. And so now, yesterday I spoke about what was talked about during the debates, and I'm still going to cover that. Now, I said it before, and it bears repeating, that I don't know why, but has Democrats have very, very bad communication skills. They do. And part of communicating is listening. Listening and not interfering that listening with a whole bunch of attitude, because then you're not really listening that well. Because if you have your brain just gunked with a whole bunch of yuck, okay, that's going to interfere with your listening abilities. And you're not really going to listen. You're not giving that person 100% of your attention and focus on what is being said. Okay, now, I've said it before, I've said it again. When it comes to listening, Democrats have the worst record of ability to listen. And they really don't know how to listen. Okay, I've had a couple of family members with that very same problem. They just don't know how to listen. And they just have all this gunk going around in their brain to prevent them from really listening. Now, once again, the Democrats during the debate uh, erroneously laid claim that Trump hates immigrants. Yeah, they really don't know how to listen to that. And President Trump has never, ever, ever expressed any kind of hatred toward immigrants. Okay. He has said many, many times he welcomes immigrants. He welcomes legal immigration. People who apply for citizenship and then go through the proper procedures and become legalized citizens of our country. And he welcomes them. Matter of fact, one was an officer who got shot by an illegal alien, okay, who was in this country illegally. And the officer went through the whole proper procedure. He applied for citizenship. He and his son, I believe, they both applied. I know a couple of people who immigrated here from China. Okay. The family applied for citizenship, went through the proper vetting, the proper screening, and then they became naturalized citizens because they went through the legal channels. And President Trump has said this many, many times. We have more jobs than there are people available to fill them. So he needs legal immigrants. He needs immigrants. He needs people to go through the proper channels and become legalized citizens so they can take jobs that are available. But he is against illegal aliens cutting in line and just going through the border, which Democrats have already admitted is a crime, because They want to decriminalize border crossings. Okay, to decriminalize something, it has to be a crime. Because why decriminalize something that's not a crime, right? You need to be a crime for you to decriminalize it. So Democrats are already acknowledging and admitting that border crossings, instead of going through proper channels, is a crime because they want to decriminalize it. Okay, so Democrats already admit and acknowledge crossing the border instead of going through proper channels is a crime. Okay, so we need immigrants. And President Trump has said many, many times, we need immigrants. We need them. He wants them. He welcomes them. He has seen, and we have seen, a huge avalanche of illegal aliens just bursting through our border like you'd storm into somebody's house without knocking first or ringing the doorbell. They just break into our country like you'd break into a house. Okay. You ring the doorbell, you knock on the door, and you wait to be invited in. You don't just jimmy the door and just burst in uninvited. Okay. And that is what President Trump is trying to remedy. That's a problem. It's a loophole. It's a very bad loophole that is attracting these people to storming our borders, overwhelming our border patrol. We don't know who these people are. We don't know if they're good people, they're bad people. We don't know if these are people that might create another 9/11. We don't know. And we want to know. We want to make sure that we allow in our country people who respect us, respect our people, love our country, love our laws. That's what we want, and that's what President Trump has said many, many times. We want people who want a better life to apply for citizenship. So President Trump has no problem with people wanting to come to our country to live a better life and to contribute to our society. He has never had a problem with that. If you want to do that, we welcome you with open arms. I have welcomed this Chinese family with open arms. Welcome to America. I'm so happy you're here, and I hope that you get to enjoy all the benefits that our beloved country has to offer you, because they went through the proper channels, and that's what you're supposed to do. So President Trump has never, ever, ever expressed any kind of hatred toward immigrants. Never. He never said that. He just is trying to stop the flow, the onslaught of 100,000, tens of thousands of illegal aliens who we do not know from coming into our country through the southern border, instead of going through proper channels and become legalized citizens with all the paperwork. And they want to cover it up by saying undocumented. Do you got documents? Do you got a birth certificate? Right. So why is it so bad for these people to have documents? What is the attraction for undocumented? Hey, if being undocumented is okay, hey, I'll get rid of my documents. I'll get rid of my birth certificate. I'll get rid of my deeds. Bad, don't need them, right? That's what the Democrats are saying. When they say, when they do not, when they welcome undocumented immigrants, illegal aliens, you need your paperwork. You need that information. And that's what part of being an American is all about. So, so during that debate, They got that wrong again. They don't know how to listen. They got wax in their ears or something. They just don't know how Candace says Trump hates immigrants. Damn, he married one. Hello? Anybody home? Think, you people, think. You know, God gave you a brain, use it. He married an immigrant. He married a naturalized citizen. So this whole idiotic notion that Trump hates immigrants is ludicrous. It is so absurd. It is ludicrous in 11-fold, 100-fold. It's so ludicrous. It's laughable. He does not hate immigrants. Damn it, he married one. Hello? Use your brain. God gave you a brain. Use it. Okay. Now. Okay. Now. Also in conjunction with that, okay, is about asylum seekers. Again, President Trump does not have a problem with asylum seekers. But there's so many fraudulent claims that clog up the legal works that there's no time for legitimate asylum claims to be heard. And I said before that proof that these are not asylum seekers is when one of these aliens held up a sign that said, "We are not criminals, we are good workers." That said it all. That said it all. "We are not criminals," the sign said. "We're hard workers." That says that he's admitting he's not an asylum seeker. He wants a better life. And he said so. "I'm not trying to seek asylum, I just want a better life." Which there is nothing wrong with. Apply for citizenship like everybody else. Everybody else who wants a part of the American dream and is a hard worker and wants to be part of American society. They applied for citizenship. You do the same. We want good people. We want good people. We want hard workers. We want them.
Hey, how you doing today?
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Looks good. Enjoy. Yeah, we want them. Oh, my goodness. We want them. Oh, yeah. Trump wants them more than I do. You know, Trump wants good workers because there are more jobs available than there are people to fill them. So Trump wants good workers. They want hard workers. Just go through the legal channels. It's not hard to understand, and it's not too much to ask. We want good workers. We do. We want good, hard workers who want a better life. That's what part of our immigration system is all about. And that's why it's in place. And that's why we've accepted so many immigrants with open arms. We welcome them into our communities because they went through the proper channels. And they pretty much showed the immigration department that these are really good, honest, decent people who want a better life, and we open our doors for them. So this idiotic notion that Trump hates immigrants, that you know, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous to think otherwise. It really is. You know, because so there's a new policy in effect, which, if you think about it, makes a lot of sense. And that is that these asylum seekers are in fear of their life. So what do? They leave the country where they feel where their lives are at stake, and they go to another country where they can seek asylum and be no longer in danger of their lives. But instead of going to the first country who can grant them asylum, they pass through it. 1, 2, 3 countries. 3 countries. And somebody another had this claim that President Trump said that Mexicans are rapists. Oh, come on. He didn't say that. He said there are cartels in Mexico that engage in human trafficking. But he said he did not make a blanket statement that said all Mexicans are like this, or all Americans commit these crimes. He never said that. He said, number one, he said the MS-13 gang members rape and are brutal murderers. And then there are cartels in Mexico. So the country of Mexico is so huge, so huge. You got good people and you got bad people. Hey, you got that in any society. You got good people and bad people, and no matter what social group, you know.
Oh, man.
You know. You got good and bad. You got good and bad in any society, any community. You got good and bad. So Trump never, ever, ever said that all Mexicans are like that. He said that there are some, not all. Not all. He never said all. He said some. He said the cartels engage in human trafficking and child trafficking and all that stuff. Some, not all. And for the Democrats to make this erroneous claim that Trump said all Mexicans are like this, that is not correct. That is not correct. That is an erroneous statement. Trump never, ever, ever said that all Mexicans, the entire Mexican population, is like that. Never said that. Never said that. He said there are cartels that engage in human trafficking. They're the ones. Hey, we have that here too. With the mafia, with the mobs, organized crime. They engage in that too. Do you want to say all Americans are like that? No. 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 We knew that there were some Americans who were very, very bad and engaged in prostitution and rape and drugs and organized crime. But never did anybody say that all Americans are like that. Just like Trump is not saying all Mexicans are like that. He said some. He said some, not all. There are some Mexicans like that. There are some Americans like that too. There's some in every community. But nobody ever says all. Nobody. And for an elected, or not elected, but someone running for president to make such an erroneous claim that our president said all. Never said that. Never said that. So.
Did it really? Yep.
And not only, does President Trump not have a problem with immigrants? Okay, he's trying to discourage the trip. He's trying to discourage people from making the dangerous trek across, I don't know how many miles, hundreds of miles, through 2-3 countries. There's no protection on some of these people. Some don't make the trek. Some die before they even get to Mexico, and some have. Other people, like some children, developed a sickness or an illness as a result of the trek. But nobody checked them on the way. No, once they got here, then we checked them. And then we found out that they were suffering from complications due to the long, dangerous trek. Okay, he cares about everybody. He cares about all human life. He said that many times. Many times he said that. And that's another reason why he's trying to discourage people from making the long, dangerous trek. Don't make the trek. Don't make the journey. Because you are risking your life to make this long, dangerous trek to our country. And parents who run the risk of killing their children by the trek, by the journey, it's the parents that are at fault. It's never Trump, and it's never Border Patrol. Never. Never. Whose fault is it? The parents.
I can't. I've tried. Hi, James.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good.
It's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. It's not Trump's, and it's not Border Patrol. It's the parents' fault. So if the children arrive at our border already sick, and if they die in our custody, again, that's not the patrol's fault. Because they came here already sick. They were sick when they got here. When they crossed their border, they were already sick from complications due to the journey. So, Trump cares about everybody. And Trump has said, please don't make the journey. Please stay in your country, work out your problems there, or at least, seek asylum in the first country you're able to do so. At least try, If you're denied, it's just like the way local township works, right? You need money, you need money for, electric or whatever, and then you apply, or better yet, right? You go to, let's say, Catholic Charities and say, could you please help us? And they'll say, well, we'll help you if you can provide a rejection letter by the trustees or by the township, local township. So you go to local township and you apply there and you get your rejection letter, and then you can go back to Catholic Charities and you can say, here's the proof, I applied here and I was denied. And then by looking at that rejection letter, then they can help. So we will accept, or we will consider, claims of asylum if you try and apply in any of the countries you're going through. If you're denied there, or if they accept you and while in that country you encounter the same kind of mistreatment, that you did on the country that you're leaving. You can leave that country. Hello? Is that so complicated to understand? You know, you got a brain. Use it. Let's say you're leaving country A. Okay, and you go to country B. You apply for asylum there. They grant you asylum in country B. And while you're in country B, you encounter the same mistreatment there. Then you say, you know what? We tried it here. I encountered the same problems, so I will leave and go to another country. And then you leave country B and go to country C. And you apply for asylum in country C. And they grant you asylum in country C. And you're there for a little bit, and then you realize, I'm under the same kind of persecution in country C that I was in country B and A. So I'll leave country C and head toward country D. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You are in danger, you're in fear of your own life. So you should go to the first country you go to and try it there. And then you will have documentation that proves you tried it here, you tried it here, and you tried it here. And in all cases, and you got the experience, you got the documentation, you got the proof. And then you could go to our country and say, this is what I did. I went here, here, and here. And not only was I accepted or denied, I received this kind of treatment, and here's my proof. Then that's something that you could present to the asylum department. Okay. And then the asylum judges could look at that evidence and say, okay, you tried it in this country, you tried it in this country, you tried it in this country, and I see your documentation, I see your proof, I see your evidence. Okay. Then we will strongly consider granting you asylum. But you don't you don't trek through 3 or 4 countries to get to our country and assume that we'll give you asylum without any documentation you tried it anywhere else on your way to us. Because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. You never assume we will do that. We will never assume you. Okay, we need, if this is a legal issue, we need legal documentation and evidence. Okay, so, but Trump always cared about everybody's life and well-being. And that's why he heard that this is what these aliens are going through to get to our country. And that's why, and that's why he's trying to discourage it. To save some lives. To save, everything. So, that pretty much takes care of what I wanted to say in this part of it. So, alright. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.